Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Temple Israel. We're so delighted that you could be here with us this morning as we celebrate Shabbat together. And of course, as we celebrate Alexander Willman becoming Bar Mitzvah. So a few words before we start. First, we're going to say hello to everyone watching from home. We are glad that All those of you who couldn't be here with us in person are still able to enjoy the service and the celebration together. This is a great time if you have your cell phones on you to turn your cell phones off so you can fully be focused as we have this experience together. And anything else that we need to say in introduction?
In the event of a water landing, your seat will become a flotation device. So please do not fidget with it.
Will not become a flotation device. Don't trust it.
Don't.
Okay.
No?
So Alexander has worked very hard to prepare for this day, and so we hope that as you join us this morning that you'll sing along, that you'll read along, so that we can really all share in this experience together. We're going to start with a little singing on page 172 as we join in the words of Ma Tovu.
Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ha'ani berov hastecha avod ve'etzecha eshtachaveh elecha kodshecha
So it is now my honor to invite forward our bar mitzvah to lead us in our service this morning. Yamod Alexander ben Bela Benjamin Bar Mitzvah. We're going to start the service by asking his grandfather, asking Green to come on up and put a very special tallis on him.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'tzvahot, v'tzivanu b'hatataf tzitzi. Amen. Well, I can take my mask off, I think. Okay. So this is a tallis that I wore in my bar mitzvah and was my father's tallis as well. And I assume that it was also the tallis of my grandfather when he was bar mitzvahed in 1880. So it's been in the family for a long time, and it's a great tradition to pass on to my grandson, who will pass it on within his family at some point too.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our service begins on page 170 in the Blue Prayer Book. May my life be one link in a chain of goodness. As I say the prayers of my ancestors, help me to recall their devotion and faithfulness. Their joy and suffering, which are in every word, honest is my heritage. May I be worthy of it. May the traditions live in me, and may I pass this down from generations. I shall never know, enriched by the truth that I have found, and the good deeds I have done. So may I fulfill the task on earth and receive my blessing. And when the service ends and the prayers have been ceased, help me to bring their spirit into the world which I live. May I love God above all, and my neighbor as myself, and be a living witness to the truth that never changes. Please turn to page 195 and rise for the call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorei choshe, useh shalom uvorei et hakol, hamet ir la'aretz ve'la'darim, aleha berachamim uvtu vo mechadesh bekol yom tamid ma'aseh ve'rashit marabu ma'asita anai kolam bechol ma'asita mal'a haaretz kinyanecha titbaracha anai Eloheinu ashevach me'aseh yedacha ve'al me'oreh orshe asita yafa arucha sehala or chadesh atzion ta'ir venizke kulanu mechara la'oro baruch atah Adonai yotzer hamarot. The roll of the sunlight, restoring the heart, rejoicing the soul, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, I welcome them. You who redeemed the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hamarot. We join in singing the Shema at the top of page 200.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavecha
ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ובשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of peace redeemed, the song of peace.
We join in Micha Mocha on page 204.
Please turn to page 205 and rise for the tefillah.
Adonai, seftatitach, ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo Ba'ahava, Melech Chozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav LaHoshia, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umidon Melech, Melech Mimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakom, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
You are the open door that beckons me in, peeking around a doorframe. I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O eternally, to a step beyond my self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of eternal, I found my question waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonders. Sit with me, eternal teacher. Encourage my seeking as I fill my hours with your mitzvah. So shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself into giving.
And we join in Kedusha on page 208.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, כך כתוב היה נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו, אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מה אדיר, שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ורחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גם לך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
And we join now together in a prayer for peace with the words of Sim Shalom on page 216.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, sim shalom. Yehiyu liratzon im reifi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai, Tsuri, Vegoali. Adonai, Tsuri, Vegoali.
May the word
of
my
mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
Yehiyu,
Yehiyu,
Ratzon,
Ratzon, Imrefi, Vegion, Libi, Lefanecha.
Adonai,
Turi, Vegoali, Adonai, Turi, Vegoali.
Many of you may have been wondering what has been happening for the last 20 minutes. I'm going to explain that in a moment. Those of you who have known what has been going on, welcome back. Those of you that know the songs, may you continue to sing along with us. Those of you who have never heard these songs at all before, may you feel welcome and may you feel that you're at home in this place and that you are amongst friends. So, what has been happening? We have a young man who's becoming a bar mitzvah, and he has taken on the Hebrew language in a tremendous way, studied it, learned it, and has basically stepped in the role of his ancestors, his grandfather began to speak about. Taken on the clothes, taken on the role, and then led us in prayers that spoke about the history of the cosmos, the spiritual origin of the universe, our great ancestors, the Avot V'Imot. Then spoke about the Exodus, the experience of being in Egypt and the Red Sea parting and us leaving Egypt. And now, after a few more prayers about peace, we're left wondering, what's next? We are in the middle of the desert, and behind me is the top of Mount Sinai. And Alexander is going to step into the role of Moses, prophet and rabbi, who will go up to the top of the mountain, having prepared the Hebrew, studied it, read it. He will present it to us like Moses did in front of all the Israelites. That's you guys. And then, because it's all in Hebrew, and it's very difficult, and Jewish people rarely agree on anything, he's going to offer his opinion, what he thinks of the piece that he has read about and learned about and studied about, and as I know personally has experienced. So without any further ado, we have one more tradition that we have to experience before we get to Mount Sinai.
We talk about this idea, just as Green shared with you before, that really not only the tallis, but all of these traditions are passed down from one generation to the next. So symbolically, we're going to do that with the Torah. So we are going to ask Miss Sydney if she will come and help open the ark for us, and if everyone can please rise, and we're going to get ready to pass the Torah from one generation to the next.
Romamu Adonai Eloheinu V'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu V'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu.
L'dor v'dor nagid gadlecha. From generation to generation, we pass this teaching through generations of your family. And we're thinking especially of your Zizi, who I know would have loved to be here so much and who is with us here in spirit. We pass this down until it rests safely in your arms, where we know it will be passed from one generation to the next. And we join now in the singing of Ki Mitzion on page 246.
Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah Yerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai Hagedula V'Hagevura V'Hatiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hahod Ki hu b'shamayim u'ba'arot.
Please be seated. So today, Alexander is going to be reading from Parshat Pikudei, and the blessings before Torah can be found on page 250. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Aleph Pekudei Hamishkan Mishkan Ha'edo Asher Pukei Api Moshe Avodat HaLeviyim Beyad Itamar Ben HaHaron HaKohen Uvsael Ben Ori Ben Hur Mata Yehuda Asa Et Hakol Sher Tzion Adonai Et Moshe Ve'ito Aholi Av Be'aj Chasema Lemate Da Haresh V'Choshev V'Rokem Bate Chalit Uvar Argaman Uvi Tolat Hashani Uvashash Kol HaZahav Hi Asui Lama Lecha V'Kol Malechit HaKodesh V'Yehi Zahav Hadanufa Tasha Ve'ezrim Kiva Ushava Meot Ushaloshim Shekel HaKodesh Ve'kasef Puked Ha'adeh Me'at Kikar Ve'et Lech Ushava Meot Chacha Micha Ve'shivim Shekel Ve'shekel HaKodesh. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei ha'olam natan v'tochayu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So it's now our tradition to invite up your father to lift the Torah so you can all see what he just read, and we'll invite you to please rise if you will.
Vezot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael api Adonai beyad Moshe. This is the Torah which Moses placed before the people of Israel, God's word through the hands of Moses.
Honestly, that's not as easy as Ben made it look. Please be seated.
ata Anai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Amen. Vatishlam koham lacha asher asa Shlomo beit Arnai v'yava Shlomo et kadsha aviv et hakesef ve'et hazahav ve'et hakelim natan be'otrot beit Arnai ad Yakal Shlomo et Zikne Yisrael et Korasha El Hamelech Shlomo Yisrael El La'alot Er Haron Berit Arnai Meir Ben Hitzion El Hamlach Shlomo Kol Ish Yisrael Be'yacha Ha'atiman Be'yahad Hu HaChodish HaShvi'im. Baruch atah Anai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol ha'orot bechol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'mdaber u'mkayem shekol devarav et hazedek ha'torah ve'et ha'avodah ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatan leno Anai Eloheinu likdusha levachahovod u'tifaret al hakol Anai Eloheinu anahnu modim la umvarchim utayit behra shimcha befi kohai tamid lanu Baruch atah Anai makadesh haShabbat. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I'm glad everyone could be here today. Thank you to everyone who's watching on the live stream. Hi. Today my Torah portion talks about how Moses and the Israelites built the Mishkan, or tabernacle. That was the name of the giant tent that the Israelites prayed and gathered in when they were in the desert, before they were in these temples. In one of our 7th grade classes, Rabbi Michael gave us an assignment to build our tents so we could learn and have an experience of what a special tent was like the Mishkan could be like, and how we could work together. This assignment was really hard for my team, so we went around breaking other teams' tents. And we broke all of their tents. We did it because we just weren't very good at building them, but somehow we still had fun. Well, we had fun. But maybe everyone else didn't. I thought about this a lot after it happened, and I think there's a lesson that connects to my Torah portion. The lesson is that good times can be selfish because maybe you're making other people not happy. And I learned being successful is the key to being successful. There's also a lesson from the Torah, from the story, about what it means to be someone good at some things and not good at others. In my Torah portion, God chose a man named Bezalel to build the Mishkan. Moses' feelings were very hurt because he usually was the best at everything. God reminded him that he could be good at stuff, but other people could be better than him at stuff, and that's okay. Just like my team and me weren't very good at building tents, we didn't need to ruin it for everyone else. But we could have done some other good things like helping them have fun, being teams, or carry things for them. I want to thank everyone for being here today. Thank you, Rabbi Michael and Rabbi Amy, for helping me prepare. Rabbi Michael, you were a great 7th grade Hebrew school teacher, and you made it fun and memorable. Thank you, Adele, for being such a great tutor. And thank you for my sisters for, not always helping me. Thank you to Green for pushing me, my grandpa. And thank you for being there for me. And thank you to all my friends for being here for me and supporting me. I know you are proud of me, and I'm proud of myself. It was pretty cool that we could work together and build this tent called a bar mitzvah. Thank you. I appreciate you all.
All right, Alexander, Mazel Tov. As Zizi said to me in her speech on my bat mitzvah day, this is your moment, and I'm incredibly proud of you. Every day of your life, I've been so proud to be your mom, but today, my cup runneth over. Watching you the last few months work so hard and persevere to get to this moment has been so incredible to watch. Your strength, your determination, and your commitment to yourself, your family, and your Jewish heritage is truly admirable. Of all the accomplishments in my life that I have achieved, being your mom is one of the top things I am most proud of. You've grown from being a boy looking up to his parents to being a young man that your siblings, your parents, and your friends look up to. That is truly admirable. Alexander, you have so many incredible qualities that I know you will carry throughout your life. I've always admired your generosity, your empathy, your drive, and your kindness. Watching these qualities grow the last 13 years has been an amazing experience as your mom. Years ago, and I'll not say how many years ago, but some of you were at my bat mitzvah, I became a bat mitzvah. And on that day, my dad, your Green, gave me something that was and remains one of the most treasured and important pieces of jewelry. This ring. Today, on the day of your bar mitzvah, it's time that I pass this ring on to you. It's more than 100 years old. It started with your great-great-grandpa, and his initials are inscribed in it. Then to your great-grandpa, and his initials are inscribed. Then to Green, your grandpa, and his initials are in it. And then it came to me, and my initials are inscribed on it. And now it's time for it to go to you. I had your initials inscribed on it as well. I wore it every day for nearly 20 years. This is really special. It's a piece of our family, and it belongs to the first bar mitzvah in each family. L'dor v'ador, from generation to generation. Alexander, I'm beaming. We are beaming. Zizi is beaming. We love you. I love you. Mazel tov.
Old school. Alexander, we're so proud of you. You did an amazing job today leading the service and becoming a bar mitzvah. You continue to show such grace, kindness, and perseverance in all the things you do. It's pretty surreal standing here after 32 years from my bar mitzvah to watch the next generation lead a service and become a man in the Jewish religion. You've exceeded every expectation I've had of you, and I've always continued to see you strive to become a better man. I see you gravitate towards other people to give of yourself, and I witness other people continuously gravitate towards you. You're a person that people want to be around. You've always been so competitive and loved to win. Sometimes that came at the expense of pausing Madden football on PlayStation right when I was going to get a touchdown, just so I would mess up and you would get the win. With your bar mitzvah, there was no pause button. You worked so hard for something that was so difficult for you. You started Hebrew school late, and I watched you take one step at a time, one day at a time. You eventually pushed through and accomplished it. As I've watched you grow from a baby to a little boy, and now from a little boy to a man, I've grown confidence in your ability to work through difficulties, to persevere. This is really what being an adult is all about. I've watched you advance as a Hebrew student, climber, snowboarder, football player, brother, and son. There are many things I admire about your character, Alexander. You're extremely caring and are always the first one to come to somebody when they're feeling down. You're also very empathetic and can easily put yourself into someone else's shoes and get an understanding of how they're feeling. You're also very nostalgic about how things used to be, but at the same time, you've shown and demonstrated an incredible ability to adapt. You're handsome, intelligent, and funny. You don't have to hit the pause button anymore, Alexander. You're always a winner in my book. I'm very proud to be your dad. I love you and can't wait to witness your impact on the world. Love you.
So Alexander, this is a big day, not just for your family, but also for your congregational family at TI. So it's my honor to invite up Sarah Ryder-Falkoff, who is representing our Board of Trustees, to offer you a little gift from the congregation.
Hi, Alexander. Hi. Hi. So, as you all just heard, I am Sarah Ryder-Falkoff. I actually went to high school with your mom. Yeah. So kind of close-knit, right? Stays close to home. So I am representing the congregation. I'm the Vice President of Education on the Executive Committee for the Board of Trustees here at Temple Israel. You did a phenomenal job, and the congregation is proud of you. I am proud of you. You should be proud too. And so on behalf of the congregation, we'd like to offer you this little gift and to say Mazel Tov and congratulations. And we're so proud of you. Wonderful job. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov.
No, we got more stuff. All right. Gifts keep coming. So, Alexander, we had a funny conversation this morning in our office where we were like, what exactly is Alexander's Hebrew name? And we realized that it's Alexander. Because Alexander actually is one of those very rare English names that translates exactly into Hebrew. So today we are able to say, indeed, Alexander, you became bar mitzvah. We are so proud of you. Should anyone ever doubt you, we have this that you can show them. We also hope that your Jewish journey will not stop here, and that somewhere along the way, maybe with some of the boys in the back, that you will take a trip to Israel. And so this is a little gift to get you started on that. Rather like when I was trying to decide who would go first, if we go first. So your dad mentioned that you have this nostalgia for the past. So I do have to say, this is the last time I'm going to share this story, but we've been talking a lot over the past few weeks that I have this memory of babysitting your mom when she was little. And I told you that she was like the worst kid I ever babysat. And so I stopped babysitting after that. But what I didn't tell you is that I've also, of course, known you your whole life, and all the boys in the back, who you guys were all together. And you also were kind of a troublemaker when you were a little kid. I mean, it was your sister who we called the Hurricane, but you also were a bit of a troublemaker. But here's the thing about both your mom and you, is that you guys are the best kinds of troublemakers. Because it's okay sometimes to start a little trouble if indeed you are kind and loving and giving and warm and everyone wants to be around you. And that is who you are. Through this entire process, there has never been a time where we haven't seen you, where you haven't asked how our family is doing and checked in on us. And I thought, it is a rare middle schooler who the first thing he wants to do is check in on you. But that's who you are, because you are just this incredibly kind, empathetic person. And so even the fact that in your Dvar Torah today, that you were able to look back on a time where you did cause a little bit of trouble, but still were able to look at it and say, you know, I was wrong. If I upset people, I'm sorry about it. Not many people can do that, not just when they're 12 or 13, but even when they're adults. So we all have a lot to learn from you, and I hope that you keep on making trouble and keep on being the wonderful, kind, and empathetic person you are, because you are just a joy to be around. And this cannot be the end of your Jewish education, because Rabbi Michael and I have a lot more years that we want to hang out with Alexander Willman. All right, Rabbi.
That's gonna be tough to follow. Everything that they said, and now just a little bit of this. I have been running an experiment in Jewish education for about 7 years? 7 years. Every year, in working with B'nai Mitzvah students, I go out to Walmart and I buy several packs of tents. And I give them a limited amount of time to follow the instructions and build a tent. And without fail, every single time is a complete disaster. A total lead balloon that blows up in my face. There's no amount of metaphors that I could use about how it all goes down so terribly. And in all the years, it's interesting, 7 years, it's a very whole number. In all the 7 years, no one has come back and realized that it was part of the Torah, realized what happened in the class was happening in the Torah, and then came to the conclusion that there was a lesson there. It says in your portion, the only people that are able to build the tent, the Mishkan, are certain people called Chochmei Lev, people who have a wise heart. That is you. You have demonstrated to me, to your family, to your friends and classmates who are part of the great onslaught, that you are a tent builder, that you are Chochmei Lev, that you are wise at heart, and that even though you are still a 7th grader and you can be silly and you can be wild, that you are also wise and calm and empathic and measured. And it is for us a blessing to have had the circle closed, at least for me, in the lesson of the Mishkan, in the lesson of the tents. You got it. Mazel tov, kol hakavod. May you be blessed in all that you do, and may we continue to learn together.
And so we're going to invite you now to stand with us before the open ark for your bar mitzvah blessing, and we'll ask everyone to please rise. May God bless you and keep you.
May God grant you wisdom and a great heart to lead with and to be compassionate with and to light your journey as you go on your way.
May God's countenance be lifted over you. May it be granted with wholeness and with peace. All right, so we're going to let you join your family for just a few minutes, and we are now going to return our Torah to the ark.
Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omeh, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omeh, al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim, al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim.
And we continue now on the bottom of page 282 with the words of the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'artzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchakenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא ושמו So today we're gathering in a time of joy, but we know that there are those in our community who are thinking of those they have lost, and in particular, Alexander. We're remembering those members of your family who we wish could be here with us today. Ward Willman, William and Ann Rice, Wayne and Edith Willman, Victoria Willman Lundgren, Judy Zisk Linkoff, Asher and Jean Linkoff, Carolyn Praver, Carol and Millard Present, and Clifford C. Lewis. So thinking of those and thinking of all we keep in our hearts, we join together in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, ba'alma divarach yeruteh v'yamlich machloteh, b'chayachon u'vyomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv emru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach la'alam u'mei almaya, Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'ama v'emru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'emru amen Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael V'emru, amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Oseh shalom b'imrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. So before we turn to the conclusion of our service, just a few final words. First, we wanted to thank Rob Aronson for your beautiful music, Sarah Falkoff for representing the Board of Trustees. You will notice that Sarah is right by the Sidurim, the books, when you came in. If you wouldn't mind, when you leave today, we would love to ask you to put those books back on the shelf where you got them. And finally, Alexander's aunt has made the most beautiful and probably the biggest challah that I have ever seen in my life, and so we have to be able to do a little motzi and kiddush. It is, I know, the plate, you can't even tell because it's so giant, it's poking at both sides. So we are going to ask Miss Cindy, and are cousins coming too, just Cindy? Come on, Cindy, you got it, girl. We can help you, though. Alexander, you want to help? Maybe? Yeah. You got it. We'll help you. All right, so Cindy, you get to reveal
the challah. You pull the top of the color top.
So everyone can see how amazing it is.
Ooh, whoa.
Oh, so beautiful.
Wow,
all right,
really
so I know, right? I mean, it's like so amazing. I think we'll need some cousins, at least for the eating part of it, because there's no way that we can eat that on our own. Okay, so let's first do, can we have, Alexander, will you lift the kiddush cup? Yes, the giant
thing,
chalice. All right, so we're going to say this together. Are you ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Beautiful. All right, you guys
Look
take a
on,
sip.
bottoms up.
Nice. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. All right, now you know it doesn't count unless you eat something. So, take a bite.
Be aggressive. Oh.
Awesome. All right, so you guys, you get to lead everyone out the door. Mazel tov. You didn't. We will sing you out the door. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha
Oje hallelujah selah Ashrei yoshvei beitecha Oje hallelujah selah Ashrei yoshvei beitecha Ashrei yoshvei beitecha Happy your praises forever. Happy are those who dwell in your house, they will sing your praises forever. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Hallelujah, Ashrei, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha. We are those who dwell in your house, they will sing your praises forever. Ashrei, Ashrei, happy are those who dwell in your house, they will sing your praises forever. Happy are those who dwell in your house, they will sing your praises forever. Ashrei, 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 Yoshvei Beitecha.
So good. It's so pretty.
I know, right?